Hello, welcome to Healthlines. We're thrilled to have Ann Callaghan here. Ann makes the Indigo Essences over in Ireland. We've known Ann for quite a while, and hers are one of the ranges that we stock and one of our favourite ranges because they're so unique. So welcome to Healthlines, Ann, and thank you for agreeing to come and talk with us about your essences.
Thank you.
Can I start off by asking you, what does indigo mean?
Well, that's a huge question. To me, we are just about to shift a level of consciousness. And for me, indigo was the colour in the night sky before the dawn of a new day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's my version of indigo.
Mm-hmm.
However, about the time that I started to make these essences, people began describing particular individuals as indigos. The notion was that as we change a level of consciousness, the children who are being born are wired for a different level of consciousness, if you like. And these children were named indigo children because they had or shared certain characteristics. It's not that their aura was indigo necessarily.
Okay, 'cause you hear that sometimes.
You do hear that, but actually the woman who first named the indigo children was a woman called Ann Callaghan, and she has synesthesia, where it's a condition where you mix up your senses. You can taste a smell, etc., etc. So she started to see in her practice, and she has some authority, this woman, because she's been in, she was quite an age and she'd been in practice for some time. And when she'd look at somebody, she would see them as a colour, predominantly, as far as I can make out. So she started to see individuals with the predominant colour indigo coming to see her, and she saw that they had similar traits. And she named them indigo.
Okay.
Indigo children, indigo people. There's some speculation about when indigo people started to come in. As far as I'm concerned, indigo people are about changing the world. Their job, if you like, on the planet is to change institutions that will need to change. To be in line with the new level of consciousness, which is much softer, more balanced, which is about self-responsibility and integrity and so on and so on. So the old fear-based systems have to come down. And the job of the indigo is really to not fit in these systems and to indeed cause them to change or bring about their change.
And so are your essences just aimed at those children?
No, actually. The thing is that my essences have to do with this change. My essences, the indigo, if you like, indigo essences, the essences are for this period of transition from the old consciousness, the old fear-based, rule-based, hierarchical consciousness to the new, the new, much lighter, more self-responsible, joyful, peaceful, loving way of being. So the essences are to help with this transition for adults and for children. But when I started, I suppose when I started making essences, I was working in practice as a homeopath and specialising in the treatment of children. And so that was the natural place for me to start, was for the essences. As I made them, I had no idea what they were for. And I was teaching classical homeopathy, and I was a director of a school of classical homeopathy, and it was an absolute no-no to give anything apart from a single remedy. Yeah. So once, as the essences were made, what am I making? I didn't know what I was making them for, and I felt that I couldn't prescribe them because I didn't know what they were for. But I did bring them into the practice room, and I used to have them lined up on a table, much like, in a way, you have these lined up here, except a little bit further away from the consultation. And the mum or the parent would sit where you're sitting. The child would play on the floor, whatever, and I just watch what they do. So that's how I learned about the essences. The children would go, if they were interested or drawn to them, they would just go and pick them up. Luckily, I suppose, in a way, they evolved, the way of using them, the way of putting them together. That all evolved as a response to observing how children interacted with them. But they're not only for children. In fact, we are all children anyway, at some level. Yes. We are all children. And so they are predominantly for the, you know, the feelings of the child or the inner child. This set here, the combinations.